Lesson 17. The world-renowned nose. It is a startling piece of news that nose has become a matter of dispute among intellectuals. I record here the true story of that nose. The wonder of that world-renowned nose had completed 24 years of age when the story began. No one knew him before that. Does the 24th year is a person's life have any special significance? Who knows? If one looks through the recorded pages of world history, one finds that the 24th year had a significance in many great lives. Students of history need hardly be told this. The hero of our story was a cook, a kitchen worker, if you like. He was not particularly intelligent. He could not read and write. His world was confined to the kitchen. He was totally indifferent to happenings outside the kitchen. Why should he pay attention to them? He could eat to his satisfaction, inhale as much stuff as he wanted, sleep, walk. His daily routine was confined to these activities. He did not know the names of the months of the year. When it was time for him to receive his salary, his mother would come and take it. If he wanted snuff, the old lady herself would but it for him. He lived a contented life till he reached his 24th year. Then an amazing thing happened. His nose grew slightly in length. It passed his mouth and reached the level of his chin. The nose began to grow in length every day. Was it possible to hide this? Within a month, the nose reached his navel. Did he feel uncomfortable? No, in the least. He could breathe freely. He could inhale snuff. He could distinguish between smells. No inconvenience worth talking about. However, because of his nose, the poor cook was dismissed from service. What was the reason? No group came forward with the battle cry, "Take back the dismissed employee." Political parties shut their eyes to the piece of frank injustice. Why was this man dismissed? No lover of humanity came forward with this query. The poor cook. No one had to tell him why he had lost his job. The reason was that the people living in the house where he worked could find no peace or quiet because of him. People came visiting night and day to see the long-nosed one and his nose. Photographers pestered them. News reporters became a nuisance. A number of things were pilfered from the house. As the dismissed cook sat starving in his lowly hut, he was convinced of one thing: his nose has acquired great publicity. People from distant lands came to see him. They stood stunned with surprise at his long nose. Some touched it too, but no one asked, "Have you eaten today? Why do you look so weak?" There was no money in the hut, not even to buy a small packet of snuff. One day he called his mother aside and told her in a whisper, "Get these horrid people out and shut the door." Good fortune dawned on the mother, and soon after that day, people began to bribe the mother to see the son's nose. Some upholders of justice protested against this corruption, but the government did not take any action. Many protesters are against the inaction of the government and joined revolutionary parties out to sabotage the government. The income of the long-nosed one grew day by day. Why say more? In 6 years, the poor cook became a millionaire. He acted thrice in films, What vast audience were attracted by the Technicolor feature film? The Human Submarine. 6 poets wrote epic poem about the noble qualities of the long-nosed one. 9 well-known writers wrote biography of the long-nosed one and won wealth and acclaim. He had 2 secretaries, two comely accomplished women. Both of them loved the long-nosed one. Both of them worshipped him. When 2 beautiful females love the same time, there is bound to be trouble. Troubles come into the life of long-nosed one. Other people also love the long-nosed one. The long-nosed one gave his opinion on important world events. Newspapers published his comments. An aeroplane was a speed of 10,000 miles an hour has been built. The long-nosed one commented thus on the event. Dr. Banrose Furasi Suroz has brought a dead man to life. The long-nosed one made the following speech about it. It was at this time that conspiracies were hatched to capture the long-nosed one. Capturing something, taking something by physical conquest was nothing new. The major part of world history consists of conquest and captures. What is this capturing? Suppose you plant coconut seedlings on a piece of barren land. You water the land and manure it. You fence it in, expectant. Years slip by and trees bear fruit. Coconuts hang in proud clusters from the palms. Then someone taken that garden away from you. First of all, it was the government that made an attempt to capture the long-nosed one. They tried a confident trick. The government awarded him the title chief among the long-nosed ones and gave him a medal. It was the president himself who tied the bejeweled gold medal around the neck of the long-nosed one by the hand. The president tweaked the tip of the long nose. The long-nosed one must join the party. Which one? There were many parties. How would the long-nosed one join different parties at the same time? The long-nosed one said in his one tongue, "Why should I join party or parties? Me, I am too tired." Then one of the secretaries said, "If comrade Long-Nose likes me, he must join my party." The Long-Nose said nothing to that. "Should I join any party?" The Long-Nose asked the other secretary. She understood what he was aiming at. She said, "Why should you?" By that time, one of the political parties had come out with the slogan, "Our party is the long-nosed one's party." The long-nosed one's party is the People's Party. Members of other parties were incensed by this. They got at one of the secretaries and made her issue a scathing statement against at the long-nosed one. The long-nosed one has deceived the people. He has been cheating them all this while. He has made a partner in this fraud. Let me declare the truth to the public. The long nose is made of rubber. Wow! All the newspapers splashed the news on their front pages. The nose of the long-nosed one is made of rubber. Would the people keep quiet at this? Cables, telephone calls, letters from all the parts of the world. The president was allowed no peace or quiet. When the anti-long-nose party put out this statement, the opposing party made the other secretary issue a courtier statement. Beloved countrymen, citizens, what she said is a lie. Comrade Long-Nose did not love her. This is her revenge for that. She was trying to keep for herself the wealth and good name of Comrade Long-Nosed. I am the faithful secretary of Comrade Long-Nose. Nose of the comrade is not made of rubber. It is as real as my own heart beating inside me. What was to be done? There was confusion in the minds of the people. The leaders of the party against the long-nosed one began finding fault with the president and the government. Stupid government. They gave the title of chief among the long-nosed ones to the deceiver of the people. There is betrayal of national interest in all hills. The president must resign. The ministry must resign. The rubber-nosed one must be killed. The president reacted angrily. One morning, the army and their tanks surrounded the house of the long-nosed one. He was arrested and taken away. There was no news of the long-nosed one for some time. The people forgot about his existence. They come fresh news with the impact of a nuclear bomb. Do you know what happened? Just when the people had forgotten everything, came a brief announcement from the president. The trial of the chief of the long-nosed one will take place on March 9. Expert doctors who came as representatives of 48 countries will examine him. All the newspapers of the world will be represented by their accredited correspondents. The proceedings will be firm for all the world to see. People must keep calm. People are people. They could not keep calm. They came in large numbers into the metropolis. They invaded the hotels. They burned public conveyances. They set fire to police stations. They destroyed government buildings. There were communal riots. Quite a number of men and women died as martyrs in this fight for the long-nosed one. March 9, 11 am. The square in front of the presidential palace was a vast sea of humanity. People must be disciplined. The examination has begun. The doctors surrounded the long-nosed one in the presence of the president and cabinet ministers. One doctor blocked the nostrils of the long-nosed one. He immediately opened his mouth wide. Another doctor took a needle and punctured the tip of his nose. To his amazement, a drop of blood appeared at the tip of the nose. The doctor gave their unanimous verdict. The nose is not made of rubber, it is genuine. One of the female secretaries kissed the long-nosed on the tip of the nose. Long live Comrade Long-Nose. Long live the chief of the long-nosed ones. Long live the Progressive People's Party of the long-nosed one. As this shouting and revelry ended, the president thought of another gimmick. He nominated the long-nosed one as a member of parliament. That was the end of it all. But the parties of which the long-nosed one was not a member formed a united front and began to say the ministry must resign. Look at the way falsehood was being perpetuated. Would there not be confusion of thought? What would the poor intellectuals do? V.M. Basir. Word meaning: significance, special, pilfered, stolen, sabotage, to undermine or destroy someone's achievements or efforts. Commonly, shapely, mesmerism, hypnotism, incense, to make somebody extremely angry. Scathing, severely critical and scornful critical. Juncture, an important point in time. Accredited, authorized, unanimous, with all members in agreement, perpetuated, continued for a long time. Let's learn grammar. Gerunds. A gerund is also an infinitive. It is formed by adding ing with the first form of a verb. The gerund works as a noun and it is placed at the subject or object position of a sentence. Example: swimming is good for health. He is learning swimming.